This is a piece of history, and that piece of history will melt in your mouth. I think that's the most delicious thing I've ever cooked. Clue is in the name. If a dish is known by its tenderness, you've got to be very tender yourself with it. You have to give it time and love and labor and just, cook like you're a feather. Then you'll get the perfect Galauti Kebabs. Everything in place? All good? Test. Today I am making something extremely special. Galauti Kebabs are an iconic Lucknowi delight. It's not like Tina Meena Dina or Ina Meena Dina or Tom Dick Harry recipe, okay? You pull your sleeves up and you get stuck in. Galauti Kebabs have a very interesting history and story behind it. So this is 19th century and the king at the time of Awadh was Wajid Ali Shah. And Wajid Ali Shah was very fond of food. However, sadly, he lost all his teeth. So he asked his royal chefs to come up with a recipe that doesn't require teeth. The royal chefs, they were incredibly skilled people. So they invented this recipe of Galauti Kebabs, which means melt in your mouth kebabs, so that the king could eat those kebabs without actually needing to have teeth. So that's how melty in your mouth they are. Right, let's get started. We've got a lot to do and I'm going to show you everything as we go. The first step is to tenderize the meat. So the meat I'm using for this is beef. You can make it with minced mutton as well. Traditionally, we use raw papaya to tenderize the meat. But because I needed to translate this recipe for the Western audiences, I don't have access to raw papaya in the UK, so I'm using meat tenderizer. Step one, add your tenderizer to the mince, and then we will add salt. And now, I'm going to mix this. Maybe you might be able to see it on the camera that already you will see that the mince will start to kind of like soften a bit. 2 chammach, tablespoon, ठीक हो सकता है. I've been told off. I need more meat tenderizer. With the meat tenderizer, if you just leave it for like half an hour to 1 hour, it should be fine. And that's it. We'll set the mince aside and we'll carry on with the rest of the processes. This is the spice palette. We've got Shahi Zira, which translates to royal cumin. It's just a more floral and fragrant form of cumin. This is a mixture of melon and watermelon seeds, and they also give a really nice texture to the dish. Khas, not couscous, khas is white poppy seeds, ground coriander. This is garam masala, and this is freshly ground this morning. Kashmiri chillies, whole, and some interesting spices here. So this is patthar ke phool, and this is, I think, one of the most kind of like bonkerous, if that's a word, spice. It's basically a lichen that grows on rocks in the Himalayan region. Who thought about using this? But whoever did, they knew what they were doing. Peepli, I don't know the English name for this, just looks like a long pepper. Also very highly aromatic. We're only going to use a couple. And then I've got these whimsical looking peppercorns, but they're actually called kebab chini, which kind of means that it's specifically used in kebabs, but it has a little tail, just like a pepper with a tail. And these are also very highly aromatic, quite an integral ingredient in Galauti Kebabs. This once used to be a star anise, but I will only be using 1 petal of star anise because it's very aromatic as well. Some cashews and desiccated coconut. So these are all the aromats. And then we have some onions here, which I will be frying, and I will make, crispy fried onions. And I've got some garlic and ginger and lemon. That's all we need. That's not too much. Besan, gram flour, which will act as a binding agent. Whilst our mince is tenderizing, I'll get started on my crispy fried onions. So you need a lot of oil, but what I will do is I will fry my kebabs in this oil which is flavored with onions. You need to deep fry your onions for making the perfectly crispy fried onions. I'm not even going to give you any measurement for oil because this is not the oil we will end up using. This is just the oil you need to fry your onions. You are not going to consume all of this oil by any stretch of the imagination. So before you comment, think twice. Because I have the power to actually come out of the screen and really tell you off. A really nice tip is to finely slice your onions. Try that they're all uniformly sliced, and then once you have them, just separate them with your fingers. So we want these onions to be nicely golden and crispy. Creates a very nice base for your kebabs. It takes time doing this. This is probably the most time-taking process, and always a cup of chai. The cup matches with my dress. This is not a quick recipe, but what this is, it's a very clever recipe because you can make these kebabs, you can put them in your freezer, and then you can enjoy them any time. So these are done now. I'm going to take them out now. Okay, spread them out so that they will crisp up then. I have fried the onions and I've set them aside. Now I'm just gonna go in with the rest of the ingredients. So I'll first fry the cashews. You just need to lightly brown them. Fry them till they're lightly brown. Next you go in with your cloves of garlic, and these will also lightly brown. It'll happen very quickly, so be very, very on board with it. Just lightly brown your garlic. It's done now already. And lastly, to fry, we have the Kashmiri red chillies. They will fry very quickly. You don't have to fry it. You just put them in and they will fluff up a little bit and just take them out. Mine were in for about 30 seconds. So the next step is to dry toast your spices. I will dry roast them one at a time because they each require different times of roasting. First, we'll go in with the melon and watermelon seeds. What we're doing here is just kind of refreshing them up, just warm, almost not even brown, beige. So all of these ingredients will roast very, very quickly, so you have to be very on board with it. Next, I will go in with the desiccated coconut. We just need lightly brown. I would advise you to keep moving the pan. Next, we're going to go in with the 3 whole spices. Just get them warm. Smells so nice, these little spices. Shahi Zira. Few tips with toasting these spices is you just need to toast them till they are warm and fragrant. That's it. Don't overdo them. If you reach a stage where they are looking black, then start again. Next is the white poppy seeds, khas. Just need to lightly brown it as well. Not even lightly brown, I would say this is kind of beige. Feel like a pro. And then go in with your coriander powder. Very, very briefly, just bloom it. And last ingredient to dry roast is the gram flour. This will very lightly change its color to beige. This is the last ingredient to dry roast. Just need to very lightly warm it up, just so it crisps up a little. Now I'm going to grind all of the fried and dry toasted spices, but I will start with the white poppy seeds because they're the toughest one to grind. Next, I'm going to add the seeds. And then you can also add your cashews at the same time. So, technically, everything will be mixed together. If you put everything together, they will all have different grind times as well.
Okay.
Just got something in my eyes. Very nice. Now I will go in with my whole spices. And I'll also add the chilies as well. Because we fried them, they're nice and crispy. Okay, done. Now I will just add all of the other ingredients. Fried cloves of garlic, the desiccated coconut, and gram flour. And there's also shahi zira underneath it and coriander powder. So grind it again. And lastly, we've got the fried onions. That's the most number of spices I've ever ground in one go. Grinds to a kind of like thick paste because now you've added onions at the end. So this is already ground garam masala, you just add it to your spice mix. Because it's hard to grind ginger at the same time, so I'm just going to add pounded ginger to this masala and then your masala is ready. Now I'm just going to mix all the spices that we have ground, also juice of 1 lime. Just going to add a bit more salt. I added 1 teaspoon salt when I was tenderizing the mince, and I've added ½ teaspoon again now. The way to do this is add less salt, and when your mince is ready, make 1 little kebab, taste it, and if you need more salt, add more salt. This is messy business, but you need to really knead all these spices into this mince. And I will also add maybe a couple of splashes of water to kind of bring everything together. Yeah. Experts. You can see how together it is now, sticky. My saying that it's smelling very aromatic. And as if the artistry in this recipe was not enough, that we are going to now tungar it. When we infuse the mince with the smoke of charcoal, it will just take on the most beautiful aroma. And I mean, this is an aroma bomb. This is a highly aromatic recipe, and we are going to up the aroma with tungar. So you're in for a treat. I'm absolutely in awe right now. This oil is madly aromatic because we fried our onions in it. So it's flavored with that fried onion aroma. Because this mince is very tender, you need to keep a little bowl of water so that you can dip your fingers in when you're shaping them. So I'm just going to pull a little bit, round it up, drop them in. So we just need them fried on both the sides. They will be very soft and tender in the middle. So once they get brown coating on both sides, they're done. And you do them on really low heat. It smells glorious. It's a labor of love, and you have to be very delicate with this dish, Look how these have nicely fried. There's a brown coating on it. That's what you want on both the sides. We've got a sheer marl wala literally 2 minutes from the house. So I got some freshly baked sheer marl. It's packed in paper. The kebabs are all fried, and I'm now going to garnish it and serve this with some freshly made sheer marl. I'm going to first actually go in just with a kebab to give you a true taste test. I think that's the most delicious thing I've ever cooked. It is so aromatic and it's so delicate. It's very, very, very tender, and it's just the most beautiful flavor. There's nothing that dominates any flavor. All the flavors are in such harmony. My gosh, this is poetry. What I am eating right now is poetry. Thanks to Ma for yet another stunning recipe. And I have it now, and it will now be shared with the world.